Okay, quick question. If you ignore a debt collector's call long enough, does the debt just disappear? A lot of people think yes. That is not true. And honestly, the real answer is way weirder than you'd expect. Here's a secret the collections industry doesn't want you thinking about. That scary voice demanding your $3,000? They probably paid less than $120 for your debt. Not a typo. Pennies on the dollar. Stick around. You'll know exactly how this works by the end. By the end of this video, you'll know how collectors buy debt, what they're legally allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, and the one magic word that legally stops almost all of it. Let's get into how debt collectors actually work. Okay, so let's back up. Imagine you had a credit card and life happened, job loss, medical bill, whatever, and you stopped paying. Most people picture the company hunting you down forever. That's not really how it goes. After about 6 months of non-payment, the original company does something called a charge-off. Basically, they give up. They write your debt off as a loss on their books. But giving up on collecting it themselves doesn't mean they let it go. It means they sell it. They bundle up thousands of unpaid debts into one big package, kind of like a bulk pallet at a wholesale store, and sell the whole thing to a company called a debt buyer. And here's where it gets wild. On average, debt buyers pay about 4 cents for every dollar owed, sometimes less than a penny. So a $2,000 debt, they might have paid around $80 for the right to chase you for the full amount. Real quick, if you're new here, this channel breaks down confusing financial stuff banks don't explain clearly on purpose, in the simplest way possible. If that's your thing, hit subscribe and drop a like. It genuinely helps. Okay, back to the story. So now the debt buyer owns your debt for pennies. What happens next? There are 2 paths. They collect it themselves with an in-house team, or they hire a separate collection agency on commission. That agency usually gets paid a contingency fee, somewhere between 20 and 50% of whatever they actually collect. So the person calling you might not even be the company that owns your debt. This is why the calls can feel so aggressive. The original creditor already wrote it off. They don't care anymore. The buyer wants their tiny investment back tenfold, and the agency wants their cut. Everyone's financially motivated to get you on the phone. Now here's where the law actually protects you more than you'd guess. Within 5 days of contacting you, a legit collector legally has to send a debt validation letter, the original creditor, the amount, and how to dispute it. If you write back within 30 days asking them to prove the debt is real, they legally have to stop contacting you until they do. That one letter is basically a pause button on the entire process. There's more. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act says collectors can't call before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. They can't lie about how much you owe, can't threaten arrest, that's not even real for regular debt, and can't harass you. Here's the part that genuinely surprises people. Debt doesn't last forever legally. Every state has a statute of limitations, usually 3 to 6 years, after which a collector legally cannot sue you for it anymore. It's called time-barred. So debt buyers specifically hunt for old, expired debt because it's dirt cheap, betting people won't know their rights. This is called zombie debt, old debt bought up and reanimated, hoping you'll pay out of guilt or confusion. And here's the trap within the trap. In a lot of states, if you make even a small payment on that old debt, or just say, "Yeah, that's mine," the clock resets. One $10 payment can bring a zombie back to life. So here's the moment that reframes this whole thing. The entire debt collection industry, worth about $15 billion a year in the US alone, isn't built on recovering lost money. It's built on a numbers game. Buy massive pools of debt for cents on the dollar, and even if only a small percentage of people pay in full, the buyer still profits big because their cost basis was so low to begin with. That's why they'll often settle for way less than the full amount if you push back, because even 30 cents on the dollar is still a massive win for something they paid 4 cents for. And that's really the twist. The person calling you sounds powerful and urgent, but structurally, they're often desperate for a fraction of what they're asking. There's a legal rulebook protecting you the whole time most people never open. Okay, so let's say this actually happens to you. Phone rings, unknown number, it's a debt collector. Here's exactly what to do, step by step, because most people either freeze up or panic pay, and neither is the move. Step 1. Don't say anything you don't have to. Before confirming your identity, get their basic info, company name, mailing address, and what debt they're referring to. Legit collectors are legally required to hand that over. Step 2. Never give financial info on that first call. No bank account, no debit card, not until you've verified they're real. You can check licensing through the NMLS system or your state's Attorney General's office. Step 3. Request debt validation in writing. Federal law requires them to send a validation notice within 5 days, and you get 30 days to dispute it or ask for proof. Send that letter, and they legally must stop collecting until they prove it. Step 4. Check the statute of limitations before admitting anything. Most states cap it around 3 to 6 years. If it's expired, even confirming the debt or making a tiny payment can restart that clock, so don't confirm ownership until you've checked. Step 5. Decide your path. Once you've confirmed it's real and yours, you generally have 3 options: pay it off in full, set up a payment plan, or negotiate a settlement, since they likely paid pennies on the dollar for it. Step 6. Put everything in writing, always. If you want them to stop contacting you, send a formal cease and desist letter by certified mail with a return receipt, proof they got it. Federal law says they must stop, with very limited exceptions. Step 7. Know you have real legal teeth. If a collector harasses you, lies, or breaks FDCPA rules, file a complaint with the CFPB or FTC, and you can actually sue them within 1 year of the violation. People have genuinely won money doing this. The system looks intimidating from the outside: weird hour calls, aggressive tone, official-sounding threats. But once you know these 7 moves, you're not some helpless target anymore. You're just someone who read the rulebook they didn't want you to read. Alright, that's how debt collectors actually work. The buying, the selling, the zombie debts, all of it. If this helped, drop a comment and tell me if you've ever dealt with a collector. I read every single one. Smash that like button, share this with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe if you want more How Things Actually Work videos just like this one. See you in the next one.